indoor beachside, what are those things called? Yeah, you got it. All right. Yeah, let's all stand up. We're gonna do on the side. Ready? Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it. 1, 2, 3. I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be I decide what to let in. I decide what's got to go. Some power that you tell me me. I'm the one with the voice inside there. Power to set me free. I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. I decide what to let in. I decide what's got to go. I'm the only one who knows what's true for the truth self-revealed to me. I'm the only one who's ever gonna know. My body, mind, soul, and me, and that's why I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. I decide what to let in. I decide what's got to go. Every time I get my own power, it's a mind that I should do. Gotta take a step back and pull my soul through. I can listen to the voice of truth and all it says. I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. I decide what to let in, and I decide what's got to go. I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. I decide what to let in, and I decide what's got to go. I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. I decide what to let in, and I decide what's got to go. I decide what's got to go. I decide what's got to go. I decide what matters to me. The song of many endings. We couldn't decide which ending to do, so we did them all. I think I'm joking, right? Are you ready, Mom? There is beauty down below. There is beauty up above. There is beauty in the past and in what is yet to come. There is beauty in the low.
Unity of Calgary. My name is Susan Cullen, and I am part of the spiritual leadership team here at Unity of Calgary. And it is delightful to see all your beautiful, shining faces. And I'm going to be your Sunday experience guide this week. The most important thing to know is that wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are always welcome here at Unity of Calgary. All right, with that energy of the singing, let's go within with an affirmative prayer. I invite you to gently close your eyes, to take a deep breath in, to bring yourself present to this very moment. Taking your awareness to your heart. I invite you to affirm for yourself. I am so grateful to be here, to have the privilege to experience this crazy journey of life, to learn and grow and discover. And to have faith that even though things may look wrong, things may look dark, that in fact, I am okay. And divine order is at work in my life and in the world. For I am a divine being that is connected to all. And so it is. And our statement of being, which is why we gather in person on this Sunday morning for this beautiful spiritual journey together. I invite you to affirm with me. We are here as... Oh, wait a second. Wait, why aren't you with me? I was running out all by myself. All right, let's try that again. Ready? We are here as love to celebrate the one power, the one presence in our lives, in this community, and in the universe. And I would love to invite one of our newest board member, Lou Kurjata, to come up and read our daily word this morning.
I really have to let everybody know it's Kurjata, not Kurjata.
I knew it. I knew it.
Kurjata. Thank you.
It's Mexican.
Huh?
It's Mexican.
Or Japanese.
The J sounds like, yeah. It's Mexican.
I've been asked so many times throughout my life, are you from Japan? Yeah, really. So today, our daily word is truth. The light of truth shines in my heart. Like a kaleidoscope's shifting patterns of dazzling colors, my life is always changing. Some of the changes I may like, and others I may not. But I accept the changes nonetheless. I enjoy pleasurable moments while learning and growing through the more unpleasant ones. No matter where I find myself on the spectrum of human experience, I take comfort in spiritual truth. God is changeless, my rock and refuge in times of struggle, and the wings that lift me up in times of ease and bliss. I remain steady and calm even as I navigate life's inevitable changes, finding lasting comfort in the truth of God as absolute goodness. As I travel along my unique path, the steady light of truth shines from within me. And here's a quote. Yet I am writing you a new commandment that is true in him and in you, because the darkness is passing away and the true light is already shining. John 2:8.
Thank you, Lou Kurjata. adopted the worldwide vision, so I invite you to affirm it with me. We envision a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And how we do that here at Unity of Calgary is captured by our mission statement. I invite you to affirm it with me. We are a welcoming, vibrant, spiritual community that inspires hearts and transforms lives by expressing our divine essence. So if that statement resonates deep within you, or even a little bit within you, I would suggest that you are in the right place this morning. All right, some upcoming community news. Next Sunday, our speaker is our very own Alara Payton. Yay! And as you know, the theme this month, or maybe you don't know yet, the theme this month is Seeing Beauty Everywhere. And Alara's talk is called What to Do, Oh What to Do. And what do we do if it doesn't look like beauty everywhere? Anyone else experiencing that, especially over the last 2 years? Right? What do we do? So I'm very excited about Alara's talk and what she is going to share, because I think that's something that we can definitely all relate to. All right, last Sunday we had our AGM. Yes, there we go. We had our AGM and we elected our new board members. I'd like to call up our new president of the board, Stefan Belgrade.
Yeah, it was, as I told everybody already, we had what would be considered the meowest, most turbulent, most stressful, and as it turned out by the end, the absolutely purest board meeting, AGM. So for those of you who don't know me, I say meow a lot, so so after the board meeting, after the AGM, we had to decide who gets what role, and we had, if I'd like to call up my fellow board members, my vice president, which is Ross McWhirter. Very awesome treasurer and prayer master extraordinaire, Cecil Warner. And Lou Kayata. Like Susan, I have known Lou for quite a while. I've known Lou for quite a while because he's part of my DEG group. So for me, I've gone through a DEG group that's been in existence for at least 3 or 4 months, an AGM, attending service, becoming a member, and now becoming a board member. So we're looking roughly at about 6 to 8 months, and I didn't even know that her name was pronounced Kayata either.
The truth comes out.
The truth comes out.
Well, it's good that we have a few surprises. So, as I said, Ross is my vice president, Cecil's my treasurer, and Lou is a board member at large. And I inherited the role of not only president, but also retained my existing role of secretary. And Mrs. Susan said, well, I got you the best secretary I could get. So, and I said, yeah, you're right, you got me. If each of you would like to say a few words as a thank you, I guess, that would be cool as well.
No.
Okay. Yes.
All right, your new board of directors.
All right, thank you, Ron. And at the AGM, of course, Claude joined us. He was on the board for 6 years, in the position of president for the last 3, and we honored him and thanked him. The other 2 board members who were stepping down are Tina Thressel and John Burgess, and we have cards for them to honor them. Neither of them are here today, which is awesome. We all have time to sign their thank you cards, so if you didn't get a chance to do it beforehand, they are at the welcome table, and hopefully they'll both be here next week and we can give our thanks for their service on the board. All right, what else do we have? Okay, so next Sunday, after Alara's talk, we have Potluck Sunday. So we invite you to bring some food to share, if you're comfortable, and if you want to just bring something for yourself, that's fine too. And we always have some wonderful conversations that happen when we have that expanded time to eat together and to connect. And after that, Alara is going to be facilitating our healing circle. And the healing circle is going to be based on prayer and tuning within. Was there something specific that you wanted to say about that, Alara?
I have a question. Someone asked me if I was bringing my big drum. And I wasn't going to, but it feels like that can be part of the prayer. So we will be focusing on how Unity uses affirmative prayer, which includes denials. And that it'll be based on the Fillmore's prayer practice. That's how they started their healing circles originally.
Yeah, so so we're going back to our roots with that prayer circle. And I have to say the affirmative prayer process is incredibly powerful because what it is about is not asking some outside force to bring us what we want, like Santa Claus, but rather it is asking ourselves to rise up in consciousness, to vibrate at the same level of that which it is we desire. So isn't that a whole different shift of perspective? So Alara is going to lead us in that healing circle. And it's a suggested love offering of $15 if you want to join that. All right, and then coming up on January, where okay, it was a little colder this morning, but it wasn't January. June 26th, if you were here last year, we didn't know about this last year. This year we know about it, so this is a really good thing. You might remember that the community center here has its annual cleanup, which means that both parking lots are occupied with garbage trucks, and everybody in the community is lined up to come and take their trash into these garbage containers. So we have negotiated with Willow Ridge, so you can park in the neighborhoods, or like the streets that are over here, but we also have permission to park at the school. But if you do so, you need to put this little sign in your window. So the school is, of course, just right here. And we've got, starting this week, we've got these signs that if you want to just grab one and stick it in your car, so that that morning you can look and go, oh great, I need that little parking thing when you arrive here and there's a lot of commotion. And for anybody who needs some assistance, we're going to have a valet service. And so you'll just be able to drive right in up to the front door here, and we'll have some people who will take your car and park it at the school for you, and then we'll retrieve it again at the end. So if you are someone who is wanting or needing the valet service, if you can let Cecil know, he is going to be coordinating that. Where'd you go, Cecil? There he is. All right, yes. Our treasurer and member of the spiritual leadership team. So if you have any questions about that, oh, do you have a question?
Well, no, I just wanted to remind people, if you have old electronics, I believe that's part of the cleanup as well, if you can bring those, is that correct?
I don't know what's included in the cleanup, if there's electronics. Do you remember that from last year?
I seem to remember that, but I'm not 100%.
Okay, so perhaps we'll check with WRCA and we'll let you know next week if there's something, if we can bring our electronics as well. And if you're planning to do that, just know that you need to arrive early because you're going to be in the lineup to drop your garbage off at the garbage trucks. So before we start at 10:30. So, and also, I won't spoil surprise yet, but I will just say that that morning is going to be a very special morning. So I would definitely put it in your calendar to come, and don't let the parking issue scare you away from coming that morning. And we're going to be saying a little bit more about that starting next week. Okay, so where to find us? All those places, the website, the Facebook page. Of course, the best place to find the most up-to-date information is our newsletter, which comes out once a week. Also to let you know that we've got our used book sale over here. There are some fantastic books in there. So if you haven't had a chance to go and look, go and take a look at some of them. I swear are brand new condition and have never been even opened before.
Father's Day, just because we have them here.
Oh, as gifts for Father's Day.
No,
Is that what you're
no,
saying?
I was to say, our Father's Day speaker is here, so it might be a chance to speak about that.
Oh, and well, yes, we will be.
I'm stirring the pot.
I'm getting notes from the director down here. You know, the orchestra when they have the director down below. So I'm getting notes. Yes, Bernie Fitterer is here, who is our guest speaker for Father's Day, which nobody knows because we haven't announced that yet, because we're going to announce that next week. So welcome, Bernie. We're delighted to have you in our community. I think the last time I saw you at Unity, it's been a while. So it's lovely to have you here, and I'm so looking forward to you sharing your wisdom on Father's Day. And if you want to buy a used book on Father's Day, you can for your father. Okay. All right. Enough of me nattering on. Let us enjoy some music from Anthony and the Unity Band.
Turn on my microphone. I bless the sun. I bless the rain. I bless the joy. I
Marcus.
All right. Oops, there you go. Indeed, everything is a blessing. And we are blessed this morning with our monthly regular guest speaker, Reverend Doug Craig. And Reverend Doug has been a leader in this movement for, I don't know, what, 60, 70 years now?
42.
42, okay. Indeed, he has been bringing his wisdom forward, and we are so blessed to have him here with us. Today, he is going to be speaking about beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Please help me welcome Reverend Doug Craig.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And how is everyone this lovely morning? Yay! Woo-hoo! Well, I'm going to leave you to start with in an opening meditation. So I'll ask our good friend Anthony to take us in. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. So just go within. Be still and know that we are part of the divine presence of good and God in this universe, expressing through us, by means of us, uniquely as us in our own individual way. So as we go into this, I declare for myself and you that I am the principle of peace within me. I am the manifestation of love within me. My mind is poised in peace and beauty. All sense of fear or doubt is gone. I rest in calm trust and rely on the law of spirit to bring good into my experience. I contend with none, argue with none, and filled with the wonderful peace and light. There is no uncertainty about my future and no fear as a result of my past. I live in the eternal now, which is filled with good alone. Goodness and beauty follow me. Peace and joy accompany me. Happiness and wholeness fill my entire being with the realization of love and perfection. So as we accept these words, we take them within and know that there are no obstructions to the operation of truth within each of us. So let us take a few moments to contemplate the beauty of life's expression that I know as me.
So let us commit to bringing that beauty that we are into full expression in and around and through us. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Thank you, Anthony. I always enjoy his selection of music for a particular day, and I wonder, how did he get inside my head? It's always just been like that for years, hasn't it? It just works out that way. And you know, really, before we start, I gotta go back to the song there. I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. I decide what to let in, and I decide what's got to go. So, with this topic for this month, behold beauty everywhere, everywhere, folks, everywhere. And my topic, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. That's kind of a loaded subject, isn't it? There's a lot of different ways that you can look at this. So, for example, you could say, oh, that's a beauty of a car you got. Or, that's a beauty of a black eye you have. Or, that's a beauty of a meow that Stefan has. Or I can say, hey, that's a beauty of the topic, it's sarcasm. So there's a lot of way that you could use the words and throw it around. So I got 3 ideas I'd like to leave with you to focus in on this concept differently, because it's hard sometimes to talk about it when we're talking about it in terms of ourselves. For example, the topic here is revealing our beauty and seeing the beauty in life. So this is the end of the talk, I'm doing it first. How did you start the day? Did you get up and look into the mirror this morning and with a big smile say, "Good morning, God"? Or did you look in the mirror and say, "Hey, good God, morning"? It all depends on how we see ourselves and how we look at things. You know the classic story of the Beauty and the Beast. There's always a beautiful beauty and the ugly beast. And by the way, there's thousands of versions, and they say it's been put through history and told many ways over 4,000 years. So we're going to look at it a different way. We're going to look at it in the mirror. The beauty and the beast. Now, the key here is we all know that we see the beast in the mirror a lot. Is that true? Okay? And that's really not the truth of our being, because within what we see is the beautiful expression of the living experience of the divine in us, through us, by means of us. Oh yeah, well you wouldn't say that if you know what I've done. No, you wouldn't if you know what I've done, but we're not talking about what you've done, because that awful eternity of the past or what's to come in the future have no relevance today. None. The only relevance today is how we choose to accept what it is that we see in the mirror. Michelangelo is probably one of my favorite people from history. And he could see the beauty in a piece of rock. He was different than any other sculptor that there's ever been because he did it differently. All he did was a little sketch. Then he went and found the rock where that sketch was in. Talk more about that in a minute. All the other sculptors always build a plaster of Paris model so they could get it right. Because, you know, if you make a mistake out of a chunk of rock, it's hard to fix. You can't. He's the only one that never done that. They still do that today. But he would get that in his mind, inside of him. He would see it, and I went to the quarry and I saw what he looked at, however many years ago it was, and he would walk around there until he found the piece of stone where that image was in it, that beauty was in it. And then he said the rest was easy. All I did was chip away the part that wasn't there. Now, I'm not much of an artist or that, but I got to tell you, when I went to Florence and I saw David there, I don't think I could pick my jaw up off the floor. There was just something about it that was so profound. But there was something else more profound than that I saw. It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And they call them the 4 prisoners or the 4 slaves. And really, it was from the confines that are self-imposed in life. And if you ever saw these 4, I was just absolutely blown away. Because it looks just like that. They're trying to come out of the stone. And so you see, that beauty can only be appreciated in the eyes of the beholder. It can only be appreciated by the individual. And in order to appreciate more of what we've got in life, we have to know what we're looking for, and we have to know what we're looking with. So always remember, as we're going around, our challenge is to be real clear on what we're looking with at life out there, and you can see beauty in the most amazing different ways. Another idea here that's very important about beauty is to get it clear. Beauty on one level is a judgment. That's a physical level. And a deep appreciation on another level, that's the spiritual level for the same object. So we deem it through physical, and we see it through spiritual. Ernest Holmes said, "No one has seen intelligence. We experience it. No one has ever seen causation. We see what it does and we deal with its effects. We do not see beauty. The artist feels beauty and depicts it as best he can, and the results of his effort is what we call the beautiful." So the beautiful is really the manifestation of beauty. Beauty is an internal thing. It's within the individual. And there's a multitude of different ways that it can express, and each are a beautiful expression of what's within. And even you, even me. Okay? We got to get ourselves into that category because it brings a richness to us about how we see life. You know, one of the things that when this topic comes up, I spent just over 30 years teaching at SAIT in the School of Business. And I had thousands of students run through my life, but there was this one young lady in particular, Vero was her name. And she struck me more with an impact than most anybody I've ever run across. And for a particular reason. This young lady was strikingly beautiful physically. Like, I mean, unbelievable. It didn't matter what she dressed or what she wore. Right from the top of her head down to the tip of her toes, she was absolutely gorgeous. Okay? So put that over there. However, there was something about her that was even more beautiful than that I was astounded by, and I watched to see what happened over the couple of years I knew her. And that was her inner self. She was not interested in relationships other than friends. She was not like that at all. And she conducted herself and carried herself, and her persona was like that. The beautiful soul that she was as a person expressed in all that they did. And the thing that was so amazing was seeing all these young men come up with their drill and routine. And boy, there are lots of them. I've seen dozens of them. And you know, they did their drill and routine, and she just responded as a bright, bubbly person that she was. It just kind of blew off the idea that they were hitting on her, because she knew that, and that happened all the time. But that wasn't even her demeanor, right? And I saw with my eyes the transformation that she had on people who approached her with one thing in mind and were absolutely stunned. And these guys, they just turned around and they walked away, and they didn't know what was going on. But they just all of a sudden weren't interested in her in that way. They saw her as a person. And that was because of what she emanated and gave God. And by the way, she was a champion salsa dancer. Is. Very, very good. Won competitions and everything. And had a couple of guys that she was partners with, and became very good friends with the one, and they were partners for several years. And then she opened up to the idea of a relationship. She was ready. Lo and behold, she fell in love with her friend that she'd been dancing with for years. And they're married now and just having a gas. I follow them on Facebook. But the point I'm making is so many people make a judgment based on the physical. And they don't go for what's real, the beauty within. If you go for what's real, the beauty within, then the outer is going to be beautiful to you automatically. It doesn't matter. Because that's where it's coming from. It's not coming from the judgment of the physical. We got to get real clear on that. She was so clear on herself and what she was about that emanated to all the people around her. I was really inspired by her, because I thought at first, well, it's just an act. But I watched her, and it's not. It just was who and what she really is. So very, very wonderful example for me. So we got to get through that idea of looking at just beauty being on the physical. We've got to know that it emanates from the spiritual first. And so if we come from looking at ourselves as being beautiful, look more for the beauty rather than the beast in the mirror, then we'll be able to come more from looking at people and drawing the beauty in them out in their own unique way. No, we don't all have to look like we're a cover page person. It's not about that. But there's some people I know. I ran into a lady that sang a song last week or a few weeks ago. And she sang, and I didn't know, but it was her favorite tune. And it was Me and Bobby McGee. And for her, it wasn't just a song to sing. For her, it was that beauty within inside of her expressing through that song. And I was there, and I was listening to it, and it teared me right up. I've never been teared up by a song like that before. Especially not one like that. But it teared me up because it took me back 50 2 years to the time I heard the lady that brought that song out sing it live, Janis Joplin. And she took me right back there, expressing the beauty of who she was through the song that she loved and what it did to me. Unbelievable. If you'd have told me that would happen to me just because I listened to a song, I would have told you, yeah, I need some more of that stuff. It sounds pretty good. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it's all about. So it's compassion. I come across this from the compassion side that we need to have in ourselves. You look into the mirrors and sometimes you see a mess. But you don't see the lives you touched or the people you've saved. You don't see all the love you've given freely or the extraordinary memories you made. You are a book of beautiful moments and feelings. Isn't that a good way to look at yourself? I am a moment of beautiful books and experiences and feelings. Wow. And so the next idea and the last idea is seeing beauty everywhere. And it's really interesting because I was out hiking the other day, going through my favorite trail, and it was lush grass and beautiful yellow dandelions right there, which are very important because they're the first flower and it gets the bees going and all of that. And I just experienced the dandelion like I've never experienced a dandelion before because of the eyes I was looking at it with and the place that I've come to in my life. And I've been there hundreds of times on that same trail, and I never felt that way about a dandelion before. And I go, well, isn't that interesting? And then I go home, and I go down my street, and there's a yard, all full of a lawn full of dandelions, with gone to seed already. And it looked terrible. I go, what a mess! Oh, are you following me with that? It's still part of the dandelion, but what was the difference because of the beauty and the experience I felt as opposed to, I don't like this? Well, you see, that was the human part. That's the physical part, making the judgment. Now, all I needed to do is take myself back to that position where I was earlier before I got there, and then bring myself to that point, and I would have seen it totally different. Boy, that would really sock me between the eyes, you know? And that's what we want to do. The other song there's beauty everywhere and everything's a blessing. Thank you, Anthony. That's wonderful. So I've really got into a situation of beauty right now, and I'm excited, I'm pumped. Oh, you wouldn't believe what's happening. I'm growing lettuce. I've become the lettuce master. So I got this at different stages, and I got this growing in my kitchen. I brought some grow lights. I even sit down and I make it and put the tweezers that look 2 individual seeds so I don't have to thin them. You know, all of that. I'm the lettuce master. If you'd have told me I'd be a lettuce master last year, I'd have helped you get professional help. Who would do that? But I cannot believe the excitement I'm getting over lettuce. And so that means that let us get excited about everything that we're doing. Because there is so many neat things. And of course, we brush off the little things that we like. We just brush it off. Then we get all wrapped up in all of that stuff with judgment about what's going on out there. Especially when we see a zit on our face. You could come unglued instead of seeing the beauty. So the challenge that we've got, folks, is to go back to that affirmation that Myrtle Fillmore gave us. And remember that beauty and appreciation are inborn, so are all the qualities that make up for the transformation in the outer world. Okay? And one last idea I want to leave you with, and this will go with what Alara is doing with the healing session. Is a little quote I come across. It's, remember, healing also means taking responsibility for the role you play in your own suffering. So you want to get that with life to help you see the beauty. That pain is a human experience. Suffering is a choice. You can't help the pain, but you can do something about the suffering, how you're going to suffer with it. That's within our domain. And so that's one of the main things. If we could deal with our suffering, and suffering can be our rotten, stinking thinking too, so don't think it's, oh, I'm suffering because that happened to me. It's something that can be within ourselves. So we want to get back to that point of knowing that life happens, and it's all about how we see it, and how we see it is about how we internalize things, and how we see what we really are. So you don't have to do anything to be beautiful, ladies. You don't need 2 hours in the spa every day to look beautiful. All you gotta do is just get out of bed before you go into the washroom and look at that mirror. You're beautiful already. For beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So I see within myself the beauty expressing uniquely as each one of us in our own special way. And that is totally valid. It's 100% okay. And I know it to be so, and so it is.
Through the window, I see you waiting. You are smiling, since I'm coming. Eyes are a story, ocean of memories, pictures and faces and places, and all of the things that make us feel like we have it all. And all of the times that make us realize we have it all. We have it all. Life is beautiful.
All right, oops, there we go. All right, well, thank you, Anthony and the Unity Band. Appreciation, and how lucky are we that we get this beautiful live music. And it's so, I don't know, the experience is so different for me when it's live. I can just feel it in my body in a whole different way. So thank you so much, Anthony and the band, for all of what you bring every Sunday. And Reverend Doug, thank you so much. I can just tell, I just know I am now leaving here looking at life in a slightly different way. So thank you so much for that inspiring wisdom. And it truly is how we look at things and who looks at it and how we choose to look at it. Right? So thank you. All right, and now is the time for conscious giving. Together, using our time, our talent, and our treasure, we come together to create this beautiful, inspiring space where we can support one another. There's various ways that you can give. We are going to pass the baskets as we do our love offering song. You can also send an e-transfer. You can donate on the website, and if you want to mail in a check, we can do it that way as well. So, let's turn the page. Thank you so much for your donation. So, as we do our collection, just a reminder too that if we have your full information, we can give you a tax receipt at the end of the year. So if you're new and if you're wanting to get that tax receipt, please make sure that we do have that full information. So as we do our collection, I invite you to stand as the band sings "Give with an Open Heart."
Thank you all. Thank you, Doug. I'm fully tired for the week. And let's bless this offering, realizing something that when we bless, we bring the power of the universal abundance into our consciousness, and we share that. Please, with me.
Divine love adds to me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Thank you.
right, thank you so much. You can be seated. And we also have our blessing for the children who are in our lives, the children of the world, and our very own dear inner child. I invite you to affirm with me. We love you, we bless you, and we appreciate you exactly as you are.
Well, at least we got exactly right.
Yes, we got exactly right. Yes. Recently, for those of you who heard it, we recently changed those words, so some of us are in the old words and some of us are in the new words. All right, so let's now take a quiet moment and bring to our awareness anything that we are ready to surrender and turn over into prayer. Taking a deep breath in. And you can use the power of your mind to put that into our prayer box, or there's also slips of paper if you want to write it out and put it in. Those prayers are held in love by our prayer team here at Unity of Calgary for 30 days, and then they're sent down to Unity Worldwide, where they're also held in love for 30 days. Because we know that turning those thoughts, concerns, worries, when we turn those over to Spirit, we open the way for abundant blessings to unfold in ways that we can't even imagine. And if you are wanting prayer support that's outside of this Sunday morning, you can also always call the prayer line, and that's a 1-800-NOW-PRAY, which goes down to Silent Unity in the States. And you can also send an email prayer request to our prayer team at prayer@unityofcalgary.org. And we also hold in love the other Unity communities across Canada that are bringing the same message of love and spiritual awakening. And this month, we are holding in love Unity of Vancouver and Unity of London, Ontario. We see them as having the love and the support that they need to continue cultivating the unity consciousness and bringing the message of unity across our country. So let's join together in affirming the prayer of protection. Join with me. The light that is God surrounds me. I am the light. The love that is God enfolds me. I am the love. The power that is God protects me. I am the power. The presence that is God watches over me. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well, and so it is. Amen. All right, I invite you to stand. We'll get our blood moving as we sing together, Return to Love.
Ever I am burdened by the pressures of this world, I return to love. Ever I am lost, my soul conquered, I return to love. I return to love. I return
into our space here. Together, we're going to send a wave of peace out into the world.